everybody, it's Robbie here again for another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about my ISC coilovers that I installed in the BRZ about 2 to 3 months ago. So this isn't I just put them on my instant thoughts review. I've been driving them for about 2 to 3 months and I have some honest opinions I'm going to share with you. So like I said, I bought these coilovers about 2 to 3 months ago. I actually bought these used. Not very used. I bought them off a guy that put them on his car, drove for a couple months. Then he ended up wanting to buy a house and he needed to sell the car, so he sold the car and the parts separately. They were like brand new. If you watch my install video up here, you'll actually see how they were almost brand new when I put them on. I did run into a little bit of trouble with them, but that was because they were used. As far as the actual install themselves, it was super easy. It took me no time at all. And anybody could really do it. There was nothing super complicated. It's not like when you get the Teen Street Basic coilovers and you have to use the stock top hat from your coilovers. This one has its own and everything is very easy to do. So the reason I chose the ISC coilovers is because they were used, and that's just as simple as that. I found a really good deal on them. I paid about 800 Canadian dollars, and brand new they retail for a lot more, and I just couldn't pass it up. So I grabbed them for my car, and that's the story of why I chose ISC. Now if I was going to go with brand new, I probably wouldn't have chose ISC to stay in my budget, but that's just because I'm trying to be cheap and whatever. So for what you pay for these coilovers, even if you buy them brand new, for what you pay, you get a very good bang for your buck. There's two tiers of them for the BRZ and the FRS. I have the top tier of them, so they're fully adjustable. You can adjust the compression, you can adjust obviously the height, you can adjust the dampening, you can adjust the camber, all without messing around. They're very good coilovers, and two of the things I really like about these are it does have the thrust bearings. I know lots of coilovers you can add thrust bearings to it and whatever, but these ones actually just have them in them. I'm sure a lot of the other big name ones do as well. And so yeah, they have the thrust bearings and they are fully rebuildable. Now I know all coilovers are rebuildable to an extent, but these are made to be rebuilt like super easy, like I could rebuild them. And that's a very big pro for me because I actually had to replace one of the gaskets between the top hat and the spring, and I did it myself in literally 15 minutes. You guys didn't get to see a video because my camera was being stupid that couple days. I couldn't really, something was wrong with it. So you guys didn't really get to see that, but it was very easy for me to do. But as far as driving with these, I've driven in cars with some teen coilovers, some BC Racing coilovers. I've had a few other ones, I don't really remember the name. But these are very comfortable to me. I have them fairly well slammed in the back and pretty low in the front. They're not like fully slammed either way, but they are pretty slammed, and the spring compression on these they're compressible 4 inches. I don't really know how to necessarily describe that to you, but they're not huge long springs. They're fairly compressed, which is pretty good. But overall, I have the dampening. There's 32 dampening adjustments, and I have these set to about 23. And even at 23, they are a very good ride. Like just for cruising down the street, yes, it's a lot more harsh, but that's to be expected. Like unless you really ball out on coilovers, it's going to be expected that they're going to be a bit more harsh on the road, and that's the way it is. A lot to do with that is the fact that I have very thin sidewalls. So my rear tires are 255/35s, so there's not a whole lot of sidewall there, and that affects a lot of my feel on the road and everything. So you do feel every single bump you hit, but like I said, unless you're really gonna go all out and buy very nice coilovers, that's kind of to be expected. But as far as using them, they are the full camber adjustment plates on the top with 32 levels of dampening, so I can just kind of go in there and screw with whatever I want and make them exactly what I want them to be. And as far as camber in the rear, I have 3 degrees of negative camber in the rear. That's maxed out. You can go without getting lower adjustable control arms because they don't have camber adjustments on the coilovers themselves in the rear. I don't even know if that's an option in the BRZ. You'd have to get the lower adjustable control arms, and I didn't feel like that was necessary. I think 3 degrees is plenty, and I'm very happy with the look of just the 3 degrees of camber. And in the front, you can just get silly with it. You can have a retarded amount of camber in the front strictly from the camber plates themselves. I think the guy, when I bought them, they were at like 3.5 degrees. and you can go way more than that. If you adjust where the screws are and everything, you could probably get, I think, about 4.5 degrees of camber in the front, which is not my game, but I mean, if that's what you like, then that's fine. But that's not my game. I'm about 1.5 right now. I'm waiting till I can get my spacers and everything. I'll size it out properly and whatever. But the first thing you notice when you put these coilovers in the car is it is extremely stiff. Now the BRZ is already a very stiff chassis, whatever. It doesn't really roll a lot. It's a very nice drive. It's very nice around corners and everything. And when I slapped these coilovers in, it was a world of difference. Like, this thing is literally a block on the ground. Like, you cannot move this car at all. It just, when you go in, it just dives into corners. The coilovers are super responsive, very stiff, but comfortable at the same time. So when I'm cornering, I feel like I have complete control in this. I even was kind of doing drifts a little bit in the rain the other day, and it's incredible the amount of control that I feel as I have over this car with these coilovers in. But they are a little bit stiff, and you do notice a lot of bumps. I'm about to hit a bump up here I hit every single day, and you'll kind of notice the whole car jump because there's just not as much room going up and down in the coils right here. So there's just not as much room as there was with the stock suspension because this car is already so low to the ground. But it's to be expected. You can't win everything. If you want to get coilovers, especially in this car, you're going to get a rougher ride. But for the fact that it's even set pretty stiff, I think it's a phenomenal ride. And like I said, just on the road, I feel a lot more planted. On the corners, I feel like I have a lot of control. It's super stiff, and it dives right into the corners, and that's what I like. There's no lag and responsiveness, and this is a lot to do with the car I'm in, yes, but if you grab the steering wheel and you just go like this, the car doesn't sway, the car doesn't body roll, it just dives. The car just goes, it does whatever you want, and it does it like that. And it's incredible. These coilovers have really, really brought a lot of that out in this car, and I personally would buy them again and again and again. Now, I know a lot of people have had problems with these. I've read a lot of bad things about them on the internet, but all you read about stuff on the internet is bad. No one really posts their good experiences, they just complain. So for me, personally, I've had them a few months. I ran into one issue, and that was because the guy that had them before me didn't really know what he was doing. He had the compression too tight, and he blew one of the gaskets. That's him being an idiot. I re-greased the thrust bearings and everything, replaced the gasket, and it's mint the way this thing drives. It's incredible. I personally, my overall feelings on these coilovers are they are 100% worth it. I have had no problems. As of right now, I would buy these again, and I would buy them again, and I would buy them again. They are very good. I'm going to be doing some autocross with them, and I will kind of give you guys a little bit of a how I feel, I guess, after autocross with these coilovers. But if you're not doing anything crazy with these, if you're just buying them to lower your car for the aesthetic purposes, to get good handling out of just driving it around the streets, but you're not going to do anything crazy on the track, I would 100% recommend these coilovers. They have been nothing but great for me so far, and I don't have any complaints. If anything does go wrong, I'll be sure to throw a comment on this video or make another video telling you guys that. But as of right now, very pleased. They respond very well. They have the thrust bearings. They're completely 100% adjustable as you can get on a BRZ. Super easy to install. Again, you can watch that video of me installing them. It took no time at all. And just bang for your buck wise, these are a great coilover. So if you're in the market and you're on the internet and you're reading things, which is a good place to start, but it's also a dangerous place to be, I hope you watch this video all the way through, and I hope you take into account my personal opinion on these coilovers. They're phenomenal for what I paid. They'll be phenomenal for what you pay if you pay full price. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out one of the videos you're about to see in the outro, and I will catch you next time. Peace out, guys. Do what makes you happy.